Hola, bajitos. Hola.
Good morning, everybody. Today is the 10th of Feb. Diction with Days, part 33. So, yeah, the time is. Hello. Can you change from. Well, yeah, it's upside down. No wonder. It's now 9:22 in the morning. It's going to be a hot ass day. And, yeah, it's a lovely day. It's a beautiful day. But, it's going to get nice and hot in a couple of hours. Right. So, shall we get into today's reading? Okay, right. Okay, so just for today is the 10th of Feb, obviously, as I said. And please remember, guys, once again, I am not affiliated with AA, NACA, all these recovery forums. Um, I merely do this for myself and for that one person that may get something from this. All right. So let's crack on. Right. In recovery, our ideas of fun change. Basic text, page 102. Right. We're going to read it again and then we'll start talking about it. Okay. In retrospect, many of us realize that when we used, our ideas of fun were rather bizarre. Some of us would get dressed up and head for the local club. We would dance, drink, and do other drugs until the sun rose. On more than one occasion, gun battles would break out. They're not talking about proper guns, but occasionally shit like that did happen, eh? But what they're talking about is arguments and fights amongst friends. What we then called fun, we now call insanity. Today, our notion of fun has changed. Fun to us today is a walk along the ocean watching the dolphins frolic as the sun sets behind them. Fun is going to an NA picnic or attending the comedy show at the NA convention, or AA, or CA, whichever one you want. Fun is getting dressed up to go to the banquet and not worry about any gun battles breaking out over who did what to whom. Through the grace of a higher power and the fellowship of narcotics, AA, okay, Anonymous, our ideas of fun have changed radically. Today, when we are up to see the sunrise, it's usually because we went to bed early the night before. Not because we left not because we left the club at 6 in the morning, eyes blurry from a night of drug use. And if that's all we have received from Narcotics Anonymous, that will be enough. Just for today, I will have fun in Narcotics Anonymous. Yes, we're going to talk about it, right? Like I said, the gun battle thing is more a reference to fighting amongst friends because we all know that when alcohol is in the works, there's always a fight with drunk people. Drunk people always end up fighting. Okay? The same as with narcotics people. Okay, same thing. You stole my last two tablets. You stole the last line of coke. Wah, 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 wah. Right. Gun battles. But for the other addicts, occasionally real shooting did take part, which is also sad. But anyway, we're not talking about that part. Okay. So Let's read the first paragraph here. In retrospect, many of us realize that when we used, our ideas of fun were rather bizarre. Some of us would get dressed up and head for the local club. We would dance, drink, and do other drugs until the sun rose. On more than one occasion, gun battles broke out. What we then called fun, we now call insanity. Okay, let's talk about that piece. When I think back on where I used to go to, know, bars, clubs, and then, the places I used to go and organize, to go and get the heat fix, whatever, buy drugs. Now, when you're sober and you're thinking about it, you're like, shit, dude, how are you still alive? You know? I mean, that now with a clear mind, when you think about those times, we now call it sanity. All right? The things we used to do when we were, fucked out of our brackets was insanity. Now I want to go back up a bit here. All right? Talking about, you know, having fun. We're gonna send the next paragraph down, right? It says most today our notion of fun has changed. Right. So, you know, in South Africa it is a national pastime to have a braai. Okay. Barbecue. Alright? South Africans love to braai. If you give a South African half a chance, he's gonna pull out his braai, gooi the charcoal, and let's go. Alright? Lekker conversation, lekker geselskap om die vuur, né? But there's one thing that goes with a braai. Goes with a braai. Okay. And that is a dop, a drink in the hand. I've had many people say to me, especially narcotics people, druggies, drug addicts. I'm in recovery for drugs, Desmond. I'm not in a recovery for alcohol. Alright? And one of my friends once told somebody, and I thought this was a brilliant response to that. It's like, I'm here for drugs, not alcohol. So she turned around, she was a head counselor at one of the rehabs I worked at. She turned around to the client and she said, okay, so, you know, PT over there, right, he's an alcoholic. He's here for the alcohol. So that means when he leaves rehab, he can go and snorf coke and take lines of cat and all sorts of shit, right? And the guy was like, no. I was like, well then, same thing with you. You're here for drugs. You have to leave all and every mind-altering substance. Yeah, but how can I go to a braai and, not have a beer? Like, easy. Drink Coke. you know? Um, it's just part of an excuse to still drink. And many of us older recovering addicts will tell you, especially the drug addicts, will tell you that alcohol is bad, man. 1, 2, 3 dops down, my brain starts winding and going, oh, come on, man. You've been sober for like whatever time. It's just one bag's not gonna hurt. 1 gram's not gonna hurt. 1 pill's not gonna hurt. Next thing you know, you're buying 6 grams, 20 pills, or whatever the case. So, fun is what you make of it. Going to a braai, you can stand around the braai and drink Coke, orange juice, whatever. And this is what I tell people as well in counseling, that if those people at that said braai or whatever don't accept you for not drinking, leave. You have the right to leave. You have the right to say no. At work functions, your boss comes, have a drink with me, man. It's like, sorry, I'm in recovery. I'm a firm believer of being completely honest to any and everybody about your recovery, especially I have. I go for, well, you work in a rehab, so chances are you're a recovering addict. So, but I have no shame in admitting that I'm a recovering addict. The reason for this is I wasn't ashamed when I was using. I wasn't ashamed when I was robbing people. I wasn't ashamed when I was hijacking people of their cars. So why must I be ashamed of my recovery? Own that shit. The moment you own your recovery, like we spoke about yesterday, self-acceptance. The moment you own your recovery, you're on the right path. Right. Today our notion of fun has changed. Yes. Sober doesn't have to be boring, people. Fun to us today is a walk along the ocean. Okay, this part to me, I laugh at this part because they're making it out to be like it's sunshine and daisies and pink flying elephants. Okay, that everything is all right. But the message behind this, okay, let's read it. A walk along the ocean, watching the dolphins frolic as the sun sets behind them. Fun is going to an NA picnic or attending a comedy, blah blah blah, yakety schmacky. Fun is getting dressed up to go to a banquet, battles breaking out over whom did what to whom. Okay, so yeah, frolicking. Oh, my word. Right, so in recovery, when you're sober, right, like I said, funny, recovery is what you make of it. Okay, it can be a drag or it can be an adventure. You choose. So, waking up early in the morning, sitting on the stoop, having a cup of coffee, watching the sunset, watching, you know, people running, doing their morning runs, and thinking to yourself, stupid people. I, I don't do. This unique physique was not meant for that kind of physical exertion. Right, so fun is what you make of it. Recovery is what you make of it. Sorry. Okay. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, you can now go, for example, go fishing sober and enjoy the entire day fishing without coming back with a sunstroke babalas. Right? And we all know how that feels, right? You know, going out, canoeing down the river. Like, yeah, by us, we've got a nice river right here. All right? I'm a little bit too heavy for, you know, a canoe or something. But anyway, so I enjoy life. For example, myself, spending time with my family, something I never did when I was high as a kite. Never spend time with family. I like it. I love it. I still love my alone time. Okay, but that's just being an introvert. Okay, fun and recovery is what you make of it. You can enjoy a lovely day when people come over to your house and you're having a braai barbecue. Okay, sober. Right? No fighting. No fighting. Nobody's making an ass of themselves, falling over chairs, flipping, falling over the dog. That's the nice thing about having sober brides, having sober dinner parties. Dinner parties for number one, inviting family over for a dinner. I love cooking. I love it. And when I was high on that, never used to do that. What you joking? You don't eat when you're on drugs. It's taking out your time from your drugs, man. Right, last paragraph. Through the grace of a higher power and the fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous, our ideas of fun. That's what these are for, right? There we go. The ideas of fun have changed radically. Today, when we are up to see the sunrise, today, when we are up to see the sunrise, it is usually because we went to bed early the night before, not because we left the club at 6 in the morning. Stop there. It's by the grace of my higher power as I understand him, her, it, what. Okay? That by the grace of my higher power that I'm sitting here today being able to do addiction videos and my little cooking videos that I like to send every now and again. It's by the grace of my higher power I'm allowed to sit here, be with my family, and spend these last precious years with my mother. She's not going to be around forever. And if I was still high, I'll be missing everything. My higher power kept me safe to be able to sit here. And I believe everything happens for a reason. So I believe this is one of those reasons. I remember many a night in the club, high as a kite. You walk out the club and the sun is shining. You feel when you start coming down, you're fighting with everybody because you are now depressed because you're coming down. And it doesn't matter how many more pills you're popping, but you're just not getting back up. You're just crashing. That was not fun. If you remember, it, it was not fun. How you felt, how your skin felt, how you felt like you freaking had bugs crawling all over your skin. That's how dirty you felt. It wasn't fun. Not fun. It's fun being able to take my dog for a walk. It's fun being able to do things with my niece. But what you need to remember is that you are going to have bad days. That's just life. That's just life, people. Remember, the big bad world doesn't change because we get sober. No, sir. No, ma'am. The big bad world is still out there. It's what you make of it that makes it fun and livable. Cheers.